Now, back to But Who's Counting? Already in progress.
So, I told my friend Alex Trebek, I don't know the answer. I don't even know the question. Well, let's see who has the greater sum.
Well, Monty, I think I did pretty well. I think.
But not as well as I.
Well, I'll be the judge of that. You both placed a 7 over a 2, but 6/4 is greater than 4/6. And so our first round winner is, I'm a glum one.
I hate it when I lose. I've been known to flex.
Well, don't despair. And you folks at home, don't you despair either. Get a pencil and paper ready and play along with us. I'm going to spin the wheel 4 times. Your job is to make 2 fractions that yield the largest sum. And here we go with the first digit. That old mathematics that you do so well. Yeah, and the first digit is a 1. Place your 1, and here we go with the second digit. Remember, we're going for the largest sum. That's a 4. That's a 4. By the way, I am a glum one. Did I ask you where you're from?
Yes.
Did you answer the question?
Yes.
Where?
Yes.
Yes?
Yes. Ohio.
Isn't that near the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame?
No.
Oh. Well, here we go with the third digit. Remember, we're looking for the largest sum. And the third digit is a 5. A 5. Place it where you think it'll do the most good. Here we go with the fourth and the final digit. The tension is mounting. It's a 3. Place your 3. Well, let's see what we've got.
Hey, Monty. Pretty close, huh?
I'll say you both have a 3, but 5/4 is greater than 4/5, and so...
Glum 1-1.
That's absolutely right. Well, that's all the time we have for today. You've both been semi-okay contestants. And to our runner-up, a 1-year supply of days. And to our winner, a bicycle spoke. In case your bike speaks in the past tense, well, save your applause till next time. Be good to math, and math will be good to you. Bye-bye, and may the math be with you.
Aha! Caught you once again watching the television instead of doing your chores, didn't I? Oh, what the heck. You can watch this episode of Dirk Niblick, but then you'll have to get on with more important things. For example, patching the screen door, carrying out the ashes, and doing your homework. As today's semi-literate story begins, we join Lieutenant Dirk Niblick of the Math Brigade as he warms up for a baseball game.
I love baseball. I like to think of it as our second national pastime. The first being mathematics, of course. But baseball is a close second. I remember when I used to toe the rubber for my college 9, the MIT Nitpickers. I also pitched for them. My senior year, we lost all 27 games. And the amazing thing is, we weren't that good. Yes, sir, there's nothing more exciting than a game of hardball on a summer's afternoon.
Or more dangerous.
Well, if it isn't my neighbor, Mr. Beasley. Come to watch me warm up?
No, I came to inquire as to how much longer you're going to be throwing that ball. I'm having some people over later, and to date, none has asked to be hit in the side of the head by a wild pitch.
I'm finished, Mr. B.
I knew you'd admit it eventually.
You might be interested to know, neighbor Beasley, that Fluff and Fold have invited me to be the manager of their Little League team today.
Not in the least.
Yes, I'll be masterminding their team to victory in their upcoming battle in an ongoing chase for the pennant.
You're a driven mathematician, Lieutenant.
Come inside my locker room and let me show you what I've done, Mr. B. I've computerized the team's stats.
Well, I'd like to, but I've got to get my sidewalk shovel before the guests arrive.
But there hasn't been snow on your walk for weeks. We're in the midst of summer.
I know, but it's so much easier if I do that particular task now.
Nonsense. Come with me.
Oh, very well. I thought your computer was down, Lieutenant.
It was, but I had it fixed.
Oh, does your cat know?
I've put all Fluff and Fold's team statistics into my computer. It will make it easier to make decisions during the game.
You mean there are actually decisions to be made about baseball games other than should I go?
Most assuredly. A manager needs to know whether a particular left-handed hitter can hit a particular right-handed thrower. Whether or not late in the game your opponent is likely to hit and run and hit, or pull a double steal, you need to know about a pitcher's tendencies. Does he throw outside, inside? Does he throw curves or hard stuff? Can he field his position with men on base? Is he buntable, choppable, hittable? Is he...
Oh, I'm sorry, Lieutenant. Well, was my snoring bothering you?
Here are a couple of ducats, Mr. B. Come to the game and watch me in action.
Thank you, Lieutenant. Once again, you have whelmed me.
Okay, kids, get warmed up. Fluff and Fold, why don't you peg the old apple around?
If it's all the same to you, Skip, we'd rather play catch with a baseball.
You're a caution, Fold. Peg the old apple around is Lieutenant Niblick's gated way of saying we should play catch.
Oh.
Yes, kids, but as a child, I cut my teeth on this game.
Why didn't you use floss like the other tykes?
Go warm up.
Hello, Coach Niblick. Meet Mona McGraw, an old friend of yours truly.
How do you do, Lieutenant Niblick? I've heard so much about you.
Really? I'm flattered.
I wouldn't be if I were you.
Play ball!
Okay, Fluff, baby, chuck her right in there, meat. No batter here can't hit a bull in the tush with a kayak paddle. That's flexing the old soup bone, Fluff. One more strike, meat, and this clown is cat litter.
Well, this is interesting. This next batter's history statistically tells me that, according to the statistics, he hits fly balls to left field 74% of the time. He strikes out 6% of the time and walks 10% of the time, bunts 4%, and does other things 6%.
Okay, Skipper. Okay, Splinter, get ready. This guy may hit it to you.
Two outs, team. One more to go. Okay, batter number 3. He hits grounders 68% of the time. Be alert, you infielders.
Well, my dear, the ball game is over. Let's go over to my place and listen to some Dexter Gordon sides.
The game isn't over, Wallace. That was just the top of the first inning. There are 8 1/2 to go.
You're a perceptive person. I'm not overly crazy about that in a date.
Gee, Coach Niblick, that computer stuff is amazing. It tells us exactly what to expect.
No, not really, Fluff. The computer, in this case, only summarizes players' histories. It can't predict the future.
Well, so far it's batting 1,000 in my league.
Get up there and knock the cover off the ball, Fold.
Okay, but without a cover, the game will be slowed to a limp.
He means get a hit, Fold.
Oh.
Your shoes are untied.
Kind of you to warn me.
You know something?
I know where middle C is on the piano keyboard.
Do you know why it will take me longer to run from second to third than it did to run from first to second?
Of course. There's a short stop in between. I think we can leave now, my dear. The game seems to be well in hand.
Don't be silly, Wally.
I was never more serious in my life.
What does your computer say, Coach?
It says we're behind by 3 runs, Fold, and there are 2 outs. We need to stage a comeback. Come on, Howard, you can do it.
I can?
Of course. Get a hit. Okay, Fold, there are 2 outs and you're up. We're 3 runs behind. A home run ties the game.
Why don't you put a little pressure on a chubby backstop, Lieutenant?
I just wanted you to be aware of the situation.
That's like telling trapped miners the canary died.
According to the statistics on the computer, you've walked a lot against this guy, so have a good eye.
All 1, all 2, all 3, all 4.
Time out, Adam.
He's going to change pitchers. He has 2 he can use. And Fluff is due to bat next. I'll see what her statistics are against these 2 hurlers during other games. According to my statistics, Fluff, you do very well against Baroe. You have 6 hits and 13 at-bats. That's a batting average of about .462. You get a hit off him about half the time.
How about against Newhouser?
Not so well. Your batting average is only 200. 5 for 25.
Yeah, the son of a gun owns me. Let's see who he's gonna put in to pitch.
Rats, he picked Newhouser. Fluff, the game is on the line. The computer indicates you only hit him 20% of the time. I'm afraid I'm going to have to pinch hit for you.
What?
I'm going to put in a substitute in your place.
But I know I can get a hit.
You may be able to, but history indicates your chances aren't as good as Carpy Freeman's. Look at what your substitute has done against this hurler. Carpy is hitting this guy at a .571 clip.
But wait, Lieutenant. I've got a gut feeling I can wrap the K-Pock out of that ball. All I need is a chance, a little support, someone to show love and confidence and concern for me, someone to let me sink or swim on my own merits, someone to let me live or die or...
Gracious.
Besides, I know of 2 fees you got last year that you didn't report to the IRS.
Give that ball a ride, Fluff.
Strike. Strike 2.
And you certainly did, Fluff. A home run to win the game. As I said, computers can tell you about the past, but they can't tell you how much heart a certain little hitter has. Fluff, you beat the odds. I'll never forget the first computer I ever used. It was called Univac, and it was as big as a gymnasium. And it was...
What a thrilling climax to a day at the ballpark. Let's give thanks to Fluff and Fold and Dirk Niblick and his computer. And, of course, to Wallace C. Beasley, a bad baseball fan, but a good sleeper. Okay, Mr. Beasley, time to go. Mr. Beasley.
I just know I'm going to need math when I grow up. I plan on being the best linebacker in the civilized world. I'll need probability to figure out where to play on 1st and 10, or 3rd and long. And statistics, that to keep track of all my tackles and sacks and INTs. Of course, I'll need charts and graphs to lay out defenses and tendencies. And I'll even need arithmetic to add up all my money. Of course, I'm going to have to put on a little weight.
Learn math. It's a subject you'll never outgrow.
The story you are about to see is a fib, but it's short. The names are made up, but the problems are real.
It was Wednesday, 9:43 a.m., and traffic around the Big Apple was befuddled. Police were inundated by missing auto reports when, as it turned out, the autos weren't missing at all, but had merely disappeared into potholes along the West Side Highway. Some of the holes in the pavement were so deep, entrepreneurial developers were selling them as low-rise apartments. I was working the day watch out of Mathnet. My partner is George Frankley. The chief is Joe Greco. My name is Tuesday. I'm a mathematician. Leo DeRocher, a baseball man, once said, "Nice guys finish last." George and I weren't baseball men, but we were nice guys, and we were definitely wallowing in the 2nd division. We decided to look at scenes from earlier episodes to get back in the hunt. We had been contacted by a young girl named Babs Bengal. She was like any other young girl, except Babs was on a minor league baseball team.
I'm not exactly on it. I'm the ball girl.
You're the one down the line that picks up foul balls and such?
That's right, Mr. Frankley.
Boy, what a job. Wish I could have been a ball girl when I was a little boy.
Babs was a good friend of the team's ace pitcher and star hitter, Roy Lefty Cobbs. All season long, they had been playing a mathematical game.
A number sequence? 2, 4, 6, 8, 10?
Uh-huh, that's right. Only we might do it like, may I? 1, 3, 7, 15.
And the game is?
The game is the other guy has to guess what the next 4 numbers are.
George pointed out that the next 4 numbers might be any 4 numbers. Babs agreed, but said,
I have to guess the next 4 numbers in his sequence. We call it Guess My Rule.
Babs went on to say the number sequence game had been going swimmingly until Lefty got on a hot streak. Then his number sequences went cold. We decided to go to the stadium to watch the Phenom work out. It was there that we met Bab's grandfather, the legendary Casey Bengal. He told us about Lefty, or as he called him, number 13.
Number 13 is sure on a hot streak, isn't he, Casey?
Oh, yes. Of course, hot streaks have a way of cooling down, you know, averaging out over the long haul. Nobody can keep doing what 13 is doing for a whole lifetime.
A trainer named Dr. Frank N. Steenbrenner was taking care of Lefty. And when Babs asked him to let us meet him, he said,
"Listen, little girl, I told you to keep away from Lefty. He's got to think about the game." Come on.
We didn't meet the elusive Lefty, but George got to do the next best thing, I guess.
You know, Casey, I used to be able to give that ball a ride when I was a youth.
If you want to step in against old 13, it's okay with me. Just grab a stick of lumber and swing away.
George said he had never seen a ball thrown so fast. He asked Casey,
"How fast does he throw that ball, Casey?"
Well, a lot faster than he used to, I can tell you that, and I have.
We clocked the ball at 143 miles per hour, nearly 50% faster than a major league pitcher could throw it. We were amazed. And when we went into the locker room, Babs was amazed.
Can you beat that?
What?
Was that Lefty's locker?
Yes, and he didn't even leave a number sequence for me today. Hey! Something very strange is going on around here.
No sense at all? Uh-huh. The numbers get larger and then smaller again? Yeah. What else? He repeats himself. Bummer. Maybe he's developed a numerical stammer. Okay, Babs. We'll be in touch. Morning, Pat.
Morning, George. Do you know what this is?
Sure. Remember you said you couldn't come for dinner last night?
Uh-huh.
Well, that's what you missed. It's just as good the second day if you heat it up.
What is it?
Well, it's a slice of Martha's meatloaf. What did you think it was?
I don't know. It looks like a hockey puck.
The joke's on me. I wrapped the wrong thing.
What is it?
It's a hockey puck.
Thanks anyway, George. Who was on the phone?
That was Babs. She got another sequence from Lefty today and didn't make any more sense to her than the last few.
Morning, each.
Morning, Benny. What's up?
Benny's been doing some sleuthing for me, Pat.
Oh?
Any luck, Benny?
Not much. He played some ball in college.
Any good?
Who?
Not much. He pitched a couple of games, ERA 9.75.
Was he a stick?
Who?
Couldn't hit his hat.
Hey, who?
Thought you said she wasn't into baseball, George.
Yelling who all the time doesn't mean she's into baseball, Benny.
You two mind sharing your gibberish?
George asked me to check out this guy, a Dr. Frank N.
Steenbrenner. Steenbrenner.
You mean Lefty's keeper?
Right. So he played baseball in college?
Yeah, Michigan Agricultural College. A season and a half, then he got kicked off the team.
For what?
I don't know. He just got the boot. His coach is retired now. I haven't been able to reach him, but here's his name and address.
Earl Red Koch, Red Cedar River, West Lansing, Michigan. Ever been to West Lansing, Michigan, Pat?
I thought I had, but when I woke up, I realized it was just a bad dream.
You mean you're gonna fly to West Lansing?
Nope.
No?
Bus.
Mrs. Koch? Yes.
We're here to see the coach.
Oh, how wonderful of you to come and call on the coach. Hardly anyone comes around since the sanctions.
Well, our pleasure, Mrs. Koch. Where is the coach?
He's in his trophy room. Oh, come on in. Coach, visitors.
Coach Koch, I'm George Franklin. This is my partner, Pat.
Tuesday.
Mathnet.
Did you win those?
No, we didn't win them, Coach Koch.
Oh, had to buy them.
May we?
May we?
Coach Koch, we came here to ask you about a student athlete you once coached.
What kind of athlete?
A student athlete?
Are you sure it was me?
Yes, sir. His name was Frank N. Steenbrenner. It would have been about 30 years ago.
Frankenstein.
Steen. Frank N. Steenbrenner? He was a pitcher.
Name ring any bells?
No. But I remember him.
Could you tell us about him?
Yes. His nickname was Cornfield.
How so?
Because when he would pitch the ball, the batter would hit it into the cornfield for a home run. He wasn't very good.
Is it true that you kicked him off the team?
Yes, I did.
Why?
For betting on the games.
He bet on baseball games?
Yes, and he was rather successful, too. Made a fortune.
Who did he bet with?
Oh, lots of people. The athletic director. The president. Me.
Coach Koch, do you remember what Steenbrenner majored in while he was in college?
He changed his major several times. I remember that. He started in hotel management.
Uh-huh.
And then he switched to animal husbandry, I think.
Uh-huh.
And then he switched to sports medicine for a time. I know that.
Uh-huh.
And there was something else.
Remember what?
Not offhand.
Well, Coach Koch, you've been a big help.
I'm sorry.
If you think of what he got his degree in, let us know. Will you, Coach Koch?
I hope so.
See? It repeats numbers. They get larger and smaller. Too many numbers.
Yes, it breaks all your rules. Have you tried sequences that build on whatever this is?
Yes, but I got no place.
Babs, let me ask you. Did you two ever use alphanumeric codes?
What's alphanumeric?
That's where you let numbers stand for letters in your coded messages.
Oh, we did that for a while. We used to write, birthday cards and Christmas greetings, stuff like that. But then we got into number sequences, which are a lot more fun.
Uh-huh.
Maybe Lefty has hit sort of a number block or something.
You mean he can't think of number sequences anymore?
It's possible. He is under a lot of pressure.
I've tried to ask him about it, but Dr. Frank N. Steenbrenner keeps interrupting us. Lefty just smiles and says everything is fine.
Why don't you try sending him a coded message and see what happens? Maybe if you get back to basics.
It might snap him out of it?
It's a long shot, but sometimes when you're trying to solve a problem, you've got to try a lot of different solutions.
I'll give it a shot. Thanks for your suggestion. You guys are good friends.
Hope they work, Babs. Pat, I don't get this number sequence.
Me either.
But you know, I get the feeling I've seen it before.
Where? On a very big license plate?
I don't know. Maybe it was a similar pattern in one of Lefty's earlier sequences.
Hey, Mathnetters. What's up?
Hi, Benny.
What's new in the undercover cop business?
Well, it's not exactly undercover, but the sports world is abuzz.
About?
Your buddy, Dr. Frank N. Steenbrenner.
What about him?
You haven't heard about his auction?
What auction? Cobbs to be sold to highest bidder. Man with golden arm to be auctioned Friday.
What does this mean?
40-year-old baseball phenom Roy Lefty Cobbs will be auctioned off to the Major League's highest bidder this Friday at the Newark Hotel, according to his personal manager and trainer, Dr. Frank N. Steenbrenner. Steenbrenner said the bidding will begin at $100 million.
Is that nuts or is that nuts? Who's going to pay that type of bread for an over-the-hill pitcher on a hot streak?
According to the paper, all 26 Major League teams are interested and are sending representatives.
But how can he do this? Doesn't Casey Bengal have Lefty under contract?
They didn't bother. They figure he's never going to amount to anything, so the Rivervale Rowdies just let him play out the string.
According to the paper, by the time they realized what a valuable commodity they had in their hands, Dr. Steenbrenner had already signed him to a personal services contract.
You mean Steenbrenner owns him? I thought slavery was illegal.
It is in most places, but not in professional sports. In the pros, it's still in vogue.
This is going to break Casey's heart.
It's not going to do Babs any good either.
You mean Casey, the manager?
He was going to get a shot at managing in the big leagues if the Rowdies won the pennant. Without Lefty, they won't have a chance.
That's awful.
The auction isn't until Friday, so Lefty has one more start tomorrow night. If he wins, the Rowdies are in the pennant.
Even so, they'll get creamed in the minor league World Series without him.
Can't be too sure, George.
What do you mean, Benny?
Adversity often brings out the best in a person. You know, the underdog rises up to smite the favorite. The team rallies to find that it's not a collection of individuals, but a close-knit, well-oiled machine. When the odds are against them, they stand tall and lash out, withering their opponents and crushing them into a helpless, worthless pile of gelatinous gunk.
Benny, what a moving statement.
Do you really think the Rowdies can do it?
Not in 2,000 years.